The overview effect is a term that refers to the experiences of astronauts when they see the Earth from orbit or the moon. Now, what happens, to many of them at least, is they realize that our planet is a beautiful whole system when it's seen from a distance, even though it is chaotic and diverse, and sometimes it's really confusing when you see it from the surface. That's something we all experience, while not many of us have experienced the overview effect as the astronauts have. The key point is this doesn't mean that the diversity and the chaotic randomness that we see with the parts on the surface of the Earth isn't real. Some people have thought, oh, what the overview effect means is you get into orbit, you see that it's a whole, there are no borders, no boundaries, there are no nations, all those things are mythical. But no, they're real when you're on the surface. It's just that when you're in orbit or on the moon, you see the context. It's analogous to the human psyche. We as individuals might seem to be a random collection of sometimes conflicting parts or even subpersonalities. We might, in fact, seem to be a collection of disorders. However, if we're able in some fashion to get outside of this system, we can see our own wholeness. We can see the orderliness of the system that we call ourselves. Now, I would go so far as to say that the purpose of psychotherapy is really to elicit an overview effect. But in this case, it's the overview effect of the mind. I would say that the therapist's job is to take the person outside their normal system. And this is so in both space and time, because, of course, part of therapy is looking back in time over our lives. And we do this so that the person who's in therapy can actually begin to see themselves as whole, even though, of course, they may have these parts that are sometimes problematic, and they can see how they might want to move toward wholeness. This also relates in a way to another experience that astronauts have, which is when they see that beautiful whole system and they realize some of the negative aspects of the diversity of activity that's taking place on the Earth, like environmental degradation, war, poverty, some of the really negative parts, they feel cognitive dissonance. They've seen possibility and they're no longer willing to tolerate things as they are. And so they take action to change. And any therapist will tell you that a client can't change until they see that that is possible and that they see that they don't have to be the way they are, that there is another way that they can experience themselves. And in that sense, I would suggest that the overview effect is the very definition of sanity on both a personal and a planetary level.